I believe that it's better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation. Actually, Melville said that, but he hasn't been gigging for 120 years, so I figured it was okay if I copied his best line. Yeah. I have a question for you. Why follow self-deluded conformists when there are so many self-deluded rebels like me who you can follow? That's not funny. It's too true. It cuts too close to the bone. The meat is sweeter closer to the bone. I am not a mere parrot for the status quo ante. I am not a cracker barrel philosopher for the bourgeoisie. I am the wrong hero, and this is what I believe. Parents should obey their children. Masturbation is the poor man's Nintendo. Everybody else always ruins it for a few assholes. This country is going plumb straight to heaven in an 18-wheeler. Anything you do in moderation will only kill you in moderation. My blood type is B negative, also my personal philosophy. Then leave. Scram. Who needs you? I went to my high school reunion and I carved my initials years ago, and I went back to see where I'd carved my initials, but the principal was wearing a toupee. Headmaster. Well, gym coach originally. We've got a computer in my job now, so now I can be confident at the speed of light. You know, erase that data bank. Yeah. All right. I went to get unemployment, and I applied for my unemployment form. I applied in 4 different colors of ink, and now I got disability. Wow, that's great. I used to work at the Middle East restaurant over there, and one day a woman came in, she was breastfeeding her baby, and I said, "I'm sorry, but we don't permit beverages from the outside." Someone said to me, "I don't like your attitude." And it's like, what? Are you smarter than me? Is that it? Is that why you don't like my fucking attitude? I'll fucking kill you! You know, the nice thing about working in a restaurant is, you know, it's sort of like being a slave, except Uncle Tom and Kunta Kinte never got to mix carrot juice, vodka, and India Pale Ale until he puked, you know? It's like, so it's cool. I like it. There's some more. Oh, you're gonna go ahead. Take a break, John. Yes.
During the spring, would you like to see pictures of spider webs?
Yes, I've seen it. The spiders on various drugs.
But it all depends on how much.
No, what about pictures of spider webs with the spiders watching various Disney characters, you know? Like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Pluto. Well.
You seem so...
different college majors. Like
spiders listening to different
political science majors.
Right. Perfectly formed, except for the little like web right in the middle that traps any unwary. Or listening to different comedians, you know. Bill Cosby, 3 lines, you know.
Don Rickles.
At the speed of Don Rickles. Hey, what are you doing about that, huh? You knucklehead? You gotta feed your family, you little maggot. So.
What was that?
Don Rickles, my mentor. And I think Don Rickles was actually the first comedian I've ever seen. And he rose on the back of Lenny Bruce. Lenny didn't turn up for a gig in Vegas. They got Don Rickles as a last-minute replacement. He wowed the Lushers, and the rest is history. And I saw him
in Vegas?
Yeah, Lenny Bruce did Vegas, man. And he didn't go over too well. In fact, he went over like a turd in a punch bowl, to quote Ross Perot. Anyway,
Ross Perot used to go to Lenny Bruce gigs?
Hell no. Are you kidding? He didn't
How about Lenny Bruce as Ross Perot's vice president?
Oh, he's dead. He doesn't even like cussing, Ross Perot. How can you think he would go for Lenny Bruce?
Oh, what about...
I quit the Navy because they swore too much. Yeah, because you were a total fruitcake.
What about Lenora Fulani? What about Ross Perot and Lenora Fulani?
They are sort of alive, you know.
They both got rich off government.
No, but not only that, but they are actually alive. The New Alliance Party and the Reform Party, they're sort of interlinked in certain ways. Seriously. You think Ross is a big racist and shit, and you think, Filani is like linked to this charismatic psychologist who like actually runs the show. She's just the shill. And, Ross is scary, man. He's hooking up with people like that.
You gotta come with some Laura Filani jokes.
Yeah, okay, sure. I don't even think she's running this year. But that's okay. I'll dig up the material from '88, yeah.
The whole line, the whole Ross Perot reaching out to Laura Filani. That's comedy.
You know, if I really had to sum my beliefs up in a few words, they would be these. Elementary school is a hospital where they amputate your imagination. Okay? With apologies to Yvonne Hillich. Now we're getting to the good part. Yes, it's all new material. For the first and only time, 90% of conspiracy theorists are unemployed. And you want to know why? Because on their job application under hobbies, they write, hobby? Proving Oswald was a patsy. You know?
They misspelled it and they wrote Betsy.
I did. Yeah, cool. I was a physical therapist for a while, but they didn't like my motto. Shake the tail feather, Quasimodo. I ain't got all day here. $10.
Fire for a while.
Hey, shit fire. That's money from home. Okay, I'm editing my set. My girlfriend sleeps with her glasses on, and I asked her why. Yeah. And I says, why do you sleep with your glasses?
So she
And
can see your dreams.
So she can watch me suffer in my dreams. That's why. Okay. Here's the deal. I figured out today why garbage men make so much noise at 4 in the morning. All right, you know what the deal is?
They make more than teachers.
How do you punish a garbage man? Who do you report them to? Who's going to demote them? And to what? You know? It's like, if you were a garbage man, you would feel like making a lot of noise. You would. I know what you're saying. You'd be saying, oh no, I'd be a considerate garbage man. No. If you were out there for one day handling other people's garbage, you'd be going, ta-ra-ra-boom-dee-ay. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I wake you up? I didn't know. You see, I'm a stupid, ignorant garbage man. I have to get up at 4 in the morning. I don't know what it's like to sleep. And now you know how I feel. You know, so.
They make more than teachers.
Oh, really?
They used to, yeah.
Well, they were very similar jobs. They both deal with society's
Rats.
detritus. So my employer wrote me a letter of recommendation, and he wrote, you will be lucky if you can get the wrong hero to work for you. Everyone is mad about the wrong hero's work. The wrong hero finds every job a challenge. The wrong hero was fired with enthusiasm. I don't know, but somehow I don't think they were being very nice, but I can't figure out why. I got a big bite mark in my desk at work.
You
I
do?
like to chew on it when I'm angry. And my boss came up to me and said, how many times have I told you not to eat at your desk? Why do people say, thank God it's Friday? Wouldn't it be more appropriate to say, thank God it's Sunday? You know, because it's Sunday, it's God's day. You know? It isn't TGIF, isn't that introducing religion into the secular world? What do atheists say? Thank a higher power which may or may not exist. It's Friday. I'm just wondering. I can tell you about I did my laundry the other day, and my laundry is kind of like my sex life, because it takes 12 hours, happens twice a year, weighs 200 pounds, costs $20. You know, so. Actually, you know, my girlfriend, she's an existentialist, so I gave her a disengagement ring. I broke up with her recently. I said to her, I was really nice about it though. I said, every time I make love to you, I see God. And he told me to stop going out with you. I don't know what to do about this apartment. It's like, who are you going to get to move into this place? Like, what are you going to say to him? Is there a fireplace? No, but the guy who used to live here used to smoke a lot.
There's a fireplace behind the wall.
Yeah, there's a fireplace behind the wall. Great. And also several dead bodies, you know. Jimmy Hoffa and Amelia Earhart and all sorts of fun people. There's like 3 Scientologists, actually 5 Scientologists who live across the hall. I had a lot of time to kill, so I asked one of them who L. Ron Hubbard was, just for fun. The food in that cupboard out in the kitchen, it's so old, the sell-by dates are in Egyptian hieroglyphics, and there's a Cro-Magnon on the cans. Soup, good! And the kitchen really smells bad, doesn't it? It smells like Godzilla's tongue. It smells like a sweatband of a recently indicted televangelist hat. It smells like Alvin Chipmunk's laundry bag. It smells like Mastodon plaque, I think is.
Did you smell the bottle of Mr. Phil?
Oh yeah. And then the refrigerator has a sign on that says Biohazard 3. And you're not kidding either, It's like, and what's in the refrigerator? A shriveled up lemon, generic beer, and a monkey's paw clutching the jewel. It's like the 12 days of Christmas for winos. 1 shriveled up lemon, 1 glass of whiskey, 1 old Coca-Cola, 1 monkey's paw. It's wonderful. And living here, it's great because like on Sunday you can hear the bums outside the window going, "It's a good rubbing alcohol. It's not a great rubbing alcohol. My girlfriend's a wino. She gave me a bottle of Nouveau Beaujolais." It's wonderful living here. It really is. But I don't know. You know what the Pope said? He said that drug abuse is a grounds for divorce. You know what I say? Marriage is a grounds for drug abuse, okay? Just a thought. And there's another thought. Inside of every thin woman is a fat man struggling to get out. Me. Okay? I can only do this joke when I'm fat, when I'm thin. Listen to this guy. Like, hey Joe, what do you know? It's like the Jackie Gleason show, Crazy Guggenheim outside, like, hey! Like dinosaurs backwards. What are you doing? Hey! I got a big knot on my shirt. It's not my shoe size, it's my IQ. I'm the evil white version of Bill Cosby. I talk at 12 words a minute. Like, my tongue is the size of a Virginia ham. The kids in this okay. I was the first man in my family to menstruate, by the way. But I never dreamed of using my mother's tampon. That's pretty disgusting in a gratuitous way, which is incredibly unsavory. They say that George Washington never told a lie. How did he get laid? You have to ask yourself this question. Never told a lie. Hey, I'm Arthur. I'm the biggest plantation owner in 13 colonies. Yeah, I got 100 slaves. They'll all do your bidding. Just snap your fingers like that. I threw a silver dollar across the Potomac, chopped down that cherry tree over there. They didn't say nothing. I'm George Washington. I got wooden teeth and buckles on my shoes. And if it rains, I'll walk home, because I'm like Donald Duck. I don't give a fuck. And, yeah. So, what is it with women anyway? Women and men will never get along for all eternity, because like the standard male response to any situation is like 180 degrees removed, vive la différence, from the standard female response. A fly in the room. Oh, great, a fly. A woman sees a fly in the room. Kill it! Kill it! It's like, it's a fly, it wouldn't harm you, and, it's not gonna hurt you. Kill it! Oh, nice little baby. A fly, kill it! It's like, well, I just can't figure this out. Or they get mad over the smallest things. Like, men are very stoical. Joe, you got cancer. I give you 6 months. Oh, well, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. But a woman, you left a wet towel on the bed? How many times have I, Hiroshima, Auschwitz, World War III, you left a wet towel. you know, it's like amazing, and oh, I just can't take it. Yeah. The whole dating scene, it's just too much for me. Can't do it. Can't deal with it anymore.
Not an awful lot I can deal with these days.
Wow.
Oh my God, we've gone through 74 minutes now.
Cool, man. No, it's actually been less than that. It's been 78 minutes when you think of it, bro. That's good. You know, going to a dating bar, and I'm sure you can relate to this, it's like mindless apes in a savannah looking for an inhibitory forebrain to fall on their heads, you know. And you know, guys have these guy things that they do. You're aware of this. Like, they like to talk about tools and shit. And like apes like to compare the sticks they use to grunt for termites and hollow logs. The more I study apes, the less I like man. That's basically what I'm getting at. I was walking down Newbury Street and a woman just missed me with her car. In Boston, that's called flirting. You know why they call it Boston lettuce? Because it's small and expensive, just like Boston. Here's a riddle for you, John. What's the difference between Boston and frozen yogurt?
What?
Frozen yogurt has an active culture. You know, this place smells like cat piss. And the hell of it is, none of us owns a cat. You know? By the way, you know...
You spilled a couple of slop bottles. Huh?
Yeah, it could be. Well, you know, when I first moved in here, I said, "Does this apartment come furnished?" It's like, "Yeah, the apartment comes furnished." And I'm going, "Great," you know, because I wouldn't want to have to buy cockroaches. It's like, I don't know, we don't got a toilet in there. Some people say this place is just a toilet, but no, that's wrong, because a toilet has working plumbing facilities, okay? That's the big difference between this place and a toilet. Oh man, I'll tell you. I can't get over some of these myths, like Prometheus stole fire from the heavens and was punished by the angry gods. It's like, you know, man, if the cat had been smart, he would have stolen the fire from hell, because they wouldn't have missed it, you know? There's plenty to go around, and the devil probably would have been happy, you know? Ah, another soul for Satan. He stole. Well, I've been working on some TV shows. Winnie the Shit, Huckleberry Finnegan's Wake, Waiting for Godzilla, and I invented a Bible for children. It's called the Bib. And the Old Testament is just one word, no. And the New Testament is also just one word, because. I'm also doing a Hamlet in 30 seconds. We're fooling Hamlet's evil Uncle Claudius. We're replacing his usual evening's entertainment with a fiendishly devised play designed by his kooky nephew to make him blurt out his guilt. Let's watch. So what magazines do you read? Dollars and Cents, right? Probably read The Economist every now and then. Time, Newsweek. Well, I don't read any of them magazines. I don't read Business Week. I read Slacker's Day. I don't read the Reader's Digest. I read the Illiterate's Bible. And I don't subscribe to The Nation, but I do get this little periodical called Feudal City State. And I don't subscribe to Partisan Review, but I do get Suggestible Hermit. And of course, you know, I've lost all my faith in science, and I've canceled my subscription to Scientific American, and now I get Superstitious Caveman. And I'm writing a couple books that might be interesting to know. So I won't have time to work on yours. I'm so sorry. The first one I'm calling it History of Ignorance, but I don't know where to start. And the other one's called The History of Cynicism, but, you know, I really don't know why I bothered. Hey, Steve! Maybe he left. Too bad, too. Because we were just getting to the part that he liked.
Oh, I know he left.
Oh, I heard the door slam.
You did?
Maybe he's in the bathroom, I don't know.
How about you slam most of the doors in this spot?
Me? When have I ever slammed a door? That door won't even slam. I think I broke it the day I moved in. Which is what part of the course. That'll teach you to slam doors.
When did you move in here? 17 years ago or something?
Yep, 17 years, 3 weeks, and 2 days, but who's counting? Man and boy, I've been here, and let me tell you something.
Immediately after your graduation from Harvard?
2 months after my graduation. For one of those months, I was crashing in an apartment that Nick Eberstadt was subletting, and then I was evicted from there, and so I crashed in the Harvard Advocate, and I came back one day from a jaunt to Providence to discover that all my possessions had been put out in the street. And so, come August 1st, I ended up moving into here. As a matter of fact, into this very room. Anyway, I went to court one time, you know, and Superman was the prosecuting attorney, and he saw right through me, literally. And the thing, I was on trial because, well, basically, the evidence was antimatter, and I was accused of not tampering with it. That's Steve. He's going to be mighty upset because this joke, you know, this whole thing, this is the A joke for Steve Iskowitz.
Francis, is it true that you haven't even finished one wall yet? You haven't worked?
Oh, I get to that crap in 2 minutes. All right. So, you know, Superman's been mad at me ever since he was a boy, and I gave him a kryptonite lock for his bicycle. He was going, can't pedal, getting weak, can't use pronouns. And, you know, they say that Clark Kent is a mild-mannered reporter.
He's getting through this wall.
Oh, come on! You're nickel and diming me to death. But the thing is, John, that's all the new stuff, and this is the old stuff, and the old stuff will go like that, like that. I mean, I've got to, right? You know, I can't be dicking around with the old stuff because I got a lot to finish it. And the Ross Perot speech, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. And
Let's skip to the Ross Perot.
well, okay.
No, is he, no, hold on.
Anyway.
What about the San Diego convention there?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that too.
I think
All
you
right.
got the Chicago coming up too.
Aren't you gonna run out of like video or something? Or?
Well, I gotta do some cutting, okay? Okay, I'll do some cutting. You know that Warner Brothers is going PC. They're changing the names of all their cartoon characters. Insect Citizen Bunny, Mentally Incapacitated Duck, and Glandularly Challenged Pig. You know, there's an old saying that blood is thicker than water, right? We're replacing Dracula's usual blood feast with cranberry-flavored seltzer. Let's watch. All right, here's some of the wisdom of the hero. A fool and his money should come over here. A friend in need is typical. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, so scram. My dad used to say to me, I'd say, Dad, can I have $1? And he'd go, well, you know, money doesn't grow on trees. And I'd say to him, I know money doesn't grow on trees. It falls from your fat wallet, fool! So fork it over! Pronto! Habla Espanol, papi! He loved that. But, you know, he actually said to me, he said, kid, you really like to do everything the hard way, don't you? Isn't that great? You know, other fathers are like, son, you want anything you want to do, I've got a trust fund set aside for you. You go off for a year, find yourself, come back, I'll set you up in business, anything. I'm like that. You really like to do things the hard way, don't you? Yeah, asking you for money instead of going out and earning it somehow is it's an ordeal. So, some philosophy. People hated the Industrial Revolution so much that they started believing in ghosts and religion. But what's going to happen when people start hating computers? And it's coming. Just as like there's a big dislocation with the Industrial Revolution, there's going to be an even bigger one with computers. People are going to start believing, worshiping TV celebrities and advertising figures and the like. And here's the thing about political correctness. People are sensitive and easily offended these days because they have a false sense of what constitutes a boundary violation. And thus, they mistake their place in society for their individual existence. So, you know, They get mad because you slander their race or their gender or their ethnicity. That's fine. But then they get mad because you talk about diseases or celebrities, you know. It's like, what is this? A blow to Jerry Lewis is a blow to all. Stop picking on Conan O'Brien. Rosie O'Donnell is my sweetheart, and I don't want to hear anything against her. You know, so, oh, you know, I was going to do the music stuff. And it's really, really, really too bad that everybody's leaving just when it's getting good. But I'm going to pause for a moment.
Not now.
This is my critique.
I mean,
Caution.
every other time.
Helium laser beam. You're not staring. All right. You know, when I was growing up, my dad was a hippie, and he used to say to me, "Son, I'm going to teach you a lesson I'll never remember." My dad was a meat and potatoes man. His arms were made of French fries, and his legs were made of steak. And it's like, my dad, no, really though, this is autobiographical. My dad was never satisfied. He was always wanting me to do better, strive for this impossible perfection. Like, one day I come home and I go, "Daddy, I got stung by a bee." And he said, "Why wasn't it an A?" You know, it's like, whoa. It's like, anyway, there's an old saying, out of the mouths of babes and sucklings comes drool and other things I just assume not think about. And, all right, here's the musical segment. This is going to go like clockwork. Like clockwork, you see?
Oh, Fred, don't throw me.
This is going to be this was just designed to flow seamlessly in a veritable 60-second marathon of all my favorite songs. Oh, no, my favorite parts of my favorite songs, or actually, not even necessarily my favorites that I listen to all the time, but songs that I think, in a certain way, epitomize popular music in general and rock and roll in particular. Now, are you familiar with Jimi Hendrix's oeuvre? Like Voodoo Child, Slight Return. Remember that part of Voodoo Child's Slight Return, which goes. Well, that's one. Deserted Cities of the Heart by Cream. You know that one? Like, it was all the way on the road to dreams, yeah. Now my heart's pounding most upstream, yeah. You ever could figure out the words? And Surf and Bird. Have you heard that? And then they go into this really weird. That's just so wonderful. And you know, someday if I ever like make it big, I'd like to choreograph the Harry Nilsson song, "I Guess the Lord Must Be in New York City." Like, I'm so tired of waiting, seeing my prayers go unanswered. I guess the Lord must be in New York City. Well, here I am, Lord, knocking at your back door. I'd love to do that sometime. And are you familiar with Captain Beefheart? He has these two great songs. One of them is Candy Corn, with the cerebral lyrics. Candy corn, yellow and orange, down, 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 down. It's just wonderful. And there's another one, Big-Eyed Beans from Venus. It's like, Zoohorn Rollo, hit that low mean note and let it float. It's just wonderful.
He said the Earth is like God's golf ball.
Oh yeah? Yeah, he said all sorts of great things.
Hey, Ron Hero,
I've heard some
the
great
senator. Ron Hero, I just have one question. What in the world has happened to your purple Liz Claiborne dress?
No, I couldn't. It's too hot to wear that now. Oh, you silly thing.
You let yourself go. Come on, you have to dress up to please the people. Come on.
Give the people what they want. Like, cut my fucking wrist. So.
You're not gonna.
Are you familiar with Robin Hitchcock's work?
In other words, not sponsors. Not here's an ad. But this is a word from our sponsors.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Robin Hitchcock?
No, the Egyptians.
Yeah. Right. He has this great song called Superman. It's like Superman, Superman, crunchy little Superman. Birdman. She's a squeaking butthead on a tenor box, and the boys don't understand. It took the Holy Roman Empire just to get her on your side. And I'm gonna be more careful with you, obviously. But then there's this really weird, like, bass part. Boom, 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 boom.
Like Voice from the Bottom of the Sea.
Oh, it's so fucking weird. And there's a Harry Nilsson song. Please slow down the right line. Is there anybody out there? Oh, that's another great one.
Harry Nilsson's great.
No, that's fine.
On my CD player, his CD is so long it just won't play it.
Really?
It's like 70 minutes. It's like one of those things how like certain CDs like that, Jimmy Somerville, there's like certain CDs that will not play.
So weird. Well, not really. Some of his songs, like, no one ever heard this bad.
So?
I made a compilation of his stuff, and it's like, even his later stuff, you know. What else can I do?
Thursdays.
Where there is nothing else but
Such a
you.
lazy, crazy day.
Hey, he's a great guy. Have you ever seen a moonbeam? Yeah, and you ever hear his Nilsson Sings Newman album?
No.
He's got all Harry Nilsson songs on there.
Who? What?
Harry Nilsson.
Harry Nilsson?
Yeah, he does all
Sings.
Randy Newman songs.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah, it's great. It's really wonderful. It's like, you ever hear the local song, Jeffrey, I Hear You? It's wonderful. It's like 7 minutes long and has this incomprehensible solo in the middle on an electronic keyboard, but at the end it's great because what they do is they go, Jeffrey! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It's just brilliant. And Bob O'Reilly with that violin solo. And you ever hear the harmonica version on the Policeman's Secret Ball? Oh, it's great. It's like, it's a real hoedown. It's one of my favorites. And you know that grassroots song? Na 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 na, live far today. It's like great. Said the grasshopper to the ant. You know, la la la, you live for today and don't worry about tomorrow. That's a real philosophy for the 90s. You know.
What's the Stuart Baker's? What's it like the band that covered that?
Oh, I don't know. He Mark, I'm running over, so you can't make any commentary.
Okay.
Oh, Mark, that was my orthopedic chair.
Oh well. Orthopedic chair.
Gotcha, man.
Okay. You know, my mother used to read to me. She used to read this thing like, the 3 little kittens have lost their mittens and don't know where to find them. I'm like, kittens wearing mittens? What kind of nightmare world?
Oh, this is an old one. You performed it. Not
No,
you were
it's
the
a chestnut.
It's a gem. It's a fucking gem. And it segues smoothly if commentary is
a chestnut, perhaps, not a gem.
Alright, chestnut. Well, they can't all be gems. Alright, some of them's gotta be chestnut. Okay, here's another one. Like my girlfriend's nephews, they have this little music box that plays Pop Goes the Weasel. And I listen to the lyrics. The lyrics to Pop Goes the Weasel. Round and round the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought 'twas all in fun. Pop goes the... Can you imagine a vision of hell more terrifying than a monkey chasing a weasel around a mulberry bush for all eternity? Christ! You know, oh, and that song, Maurice Chevalier. Every little breeze seems to whisper Louise. Make it stop! Make it stop! You know, that's what I think. Well, here's a question for you. Which is a bigger oxymoron? Affectionate satire or cutting-edge karaoke?
The latter.
Yes, probably. You know, Elton John, he sings, Philadelphia freedom put me knee-high to a man. That's not the only thing that puts a knee-high to a man, if the truth be told. And you know, when I was in college, I used to play that bird song, Chestnut Mare. I used to like singing it to her, right? Like, she was a feminist, and I'd go, I'm gonna catch that horse if I can, and when I do, gonna give her my brand! You know, it's like she really gone off on that in a big way. I'm gonna give her my brand! You know, acted out and stuff. It's like, she really dug it. And, you know, Jim Morrison was Irish, and if he were alive today, you know, he'd be at the Celtic Festival doing Irish songs. You know, he's doing all his old hits, like, whoa, the time to hesitate, it's too long time to wander in the mire, and if you're not careful, I will light your head on fire. Oh, it's over the hill and far, it's over the hill and far away, and if you're not careful, I will light your head ablaze. Ah, yes, if only he were still around. You know, Jim Morrison died of an overdose in the bathtub. That was probably the first bath that man ever took. You know, it wasn't the water, it wasn't the drugs, it was the shock of cleanliness that killed him. Like, oh, and in that song like Crosby, Stills, Nash, if you can't be with the one you love, brother, love the one you're with. That's a good advice, especially if you're in a prison, you know. Love the one you're with, do. Charlie Manson on one side, you know. Like, you know, look, the word yo is kind of indicative of, it's shorthand for, my IQ is less than 50. You know, yo. That's what it's short for, and it's cool, because we live in an age where everything is at a much faster pace, and anyway, too bad I can't do everything, but then again. The American philosopher Jim Croce said, there never seems to be enough time. But the English philosopher Mick Jagger said, time is on my side. Which one is right and which one is wrong? Now, have you ever noticed like that song Over, Under, Sideways, Down? It's like, hey! You know, you can jazz up any stupid, boring song by yelling, hey! When the red robin goes, blah, 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 blah. Hey! T for two, hey! 2 for 2, hey! And you ever notice like thrash songs, you know, this violent, heavy metal. Any thrash song, the lyrics can be anything, you know, like a government warning. Cross at the green, not in between, hey! Sergeant General's warning, cigarette smoking may be hazardous to your health, hey! It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Comparisons, the wise man has said, are odious. So are terse proverbs, like this one. There's no use crying over spilt milk, but spilt hash is another matter. I hear you, brother. Still waters run deep. Still waters run deep. That's a pretty good description of a toilet, you know. I finally mastered my fear of speaking in public. Now everybody wants me to shut up. Matter can be neither created nor destroyed, and chances are you can't buy it on a Sunday in Massachusetts, Connecticut, or Rhode Island. I like to pretend to be a soldier, so I can smoke in hospitals.
Tewksbury. DeWillis. This is some amazing break.
Tewksbury, amazing. Does it pass the grease test? Yep, sure does. Why should it melt on his tongue? My plea is simple. End racism. Let the class warfare begin. Kids, stay in school. We don't want you around here. I think the government should...
Mark, who cleaned up in here?
I did. I think the government should outlaw me.
Francis cleaned up?
Silence! I think the government... I'll keep saying it over and over, at boring and redundant length, until you are forced to listen. I think the government should outlaw me, so I can be sold for $20 a gram outside of housing projects. Anyway, as I wrap up my presentation, I'd like to say that I am the wrong hero, supreme master of all, and all those who oppose me are mere cattle.
Well, what about the San
Oh,
Diego?
that stuff will go like that. That's all like one seamless thing.
Well, we missed it. We're wrapping up.
I'm not gonna wrap it up right now. Oh, now they're begging for more. Like,
He's just teasing you!
oh, come on already. What, you're not gonna do that? Anyway, as I was saying, I am supreme master and lord over all, and all who oppose me are mere cattle, blinded by the sweat of their own fear, as laughing cowboys herd them up the buckboards to their own slaughter. I'd like to sing a little geopolitical song, and it goes like this. Now, this is the story of World War III. Been here for a long, long while, with Islam, the Third World too, the Buddhists and Hindus, the Jews, the West, and the rest, here in World War III. I was sad because I had no shoes. And then I met a man with no feet, so I let him walk all over me. That's called affirmative action. The next time I met that man, I kicked him. Good. That's called a return to family values. You see, it cuts both ways. I'm not on any one side. Hey, you know the thing about Jack Kemp?
Oh, several. I've been one time.
We're getting into the political zone now. Hey, the audience has gone up like 50% here in the past minute or so. Okay, the political stuff, right? Jack Kemp, he's got athlete's foot and mouth disease. Now here's my little poem about the Republican convention in San Diego. The GOP convention was a sleeper. Republicans are just like us, but cheaper, was the message. Clinton's wrong and we are right, is how the GOP summed up the coming fight. But let's be kind, they'll give us back some passion. Unlike Houston, bigotry is not in fashion. You know, people, and what was it, Sam Donaldson or someone, he walked out of the Republican convention? It wasn't interesting enough. Who was it? Who?
Bo Donaldson.
Bo Donaldson. You mean Bobo Belinsky Donaldson?
Them
The news is not a democracy. That's something that people don't realize. If reporters ran the United States, hey, over, under, sideways, down. When will they? Okay. So, you know, if reporters ran the United States, they'd run ad space in the inaugural speech. It's like, in this great country of ours, brought to you by Marlboro Country. You know, they preface every announcement with the word extra. Like, extra, extra, we're declaring war on Iran. And they speak, well, anyway. Fuck that shit. Here's my impression of Bob Dole. You know who Perot really should have for his vice president? The gorilla who saved the baby in the zoo. Then that would be perfect, because like the gorilla would make Ross look more intelligent, more human. It has bigger ears than Ross. You know, it's got more hair coming out of its ears than Ross. I mean, just perfect. Anyway, I'd like to do my Ross Perot speech in the voice of Ross Perot, while I still have the energy and the inclination. My name, excuse me, can you run that slide? Slide projector's not working. My name is Ross Perot, and Ross is boss. Now, I'm not a parrot, I don't want a cracker, I am a cracker. My name is Ross Perot. Now, let me say that about this. I am Ross and I am boss, and my first act as your president will be to make the United States motto on the dollar bill read, "In Perot we trust." Now, if I may have the next slide, please. Oh, no slides? Well, then let me say that about this. I'm here, and they're there, and you're here, and I'm here, and I am. And as my old friend Harry Truman says, if you can't stand the heat, stay away from the sun, or something like that, before he was abducted by aliens. In politics, I reckon I'm just about as welcome as a bastard at a family reunion. I reckon as far as the two-party system's concerned, I'm the turd in the punch bowl. Well, when the bathtub overflows, you turn off the tap water, but you don't throw out the baby with the bath water. No, no, no. There's no place for me in a two-party system. Ralph Nader, he's crashed in too many cars without an airbag. Ecofeminism, earth spirituality, well, that may be all very well and good for the Green Party, but the American people will not go for it, and they would be like, they'll go for it when pigs fly and eagles grunt, and them Democrats will Clinton, you know, he's just like Sugar Bear, coming up, sucking up to you and going, come on, let me have a little bit of that there health care, huh? Come on, Granny Goodrich, let me have some of that health care, huh? And Bob Dole, he's just like Frankenstein, you know, it's like, tax cut, good. And I figure, you see, I was flying over Area 54 in Roswell, New Mexico. May I have the next slide, please? Anyway, if I'm president, I promise that aliens will not blow up the White House. Now, I am not Barney Fife. When the pioneers headed west, they didn't need McDonald's or Sugar Crisp. They were looking for the big rock candy mountain back in the days when men were men and women weren't. Now let me say that about this. I may look like Barney Fife, but I'm not. But I do have a bullet in my pocket, and that's in case the Republicans come around here and try to mess up my daughter's wedding again. And anyway, my name is Ross Perot. Anyway, I should mention my sponsors. They are My Little Pony, My Little Atom Smasher, My Little Orbiting Space Station, My Little Potemkin Village, My Little Ore Smelter, My Little Die Press Stamper, My Little 800-pound cage gorilla, My Little Transcontinental Railroad, My Little Moonshine Still, MASH sold separately, My Little Nitrogen Fertilizer Plant, My Little Crazed Fanatical Religious Sect, My Little Paranoid Conspiracy Theory, My Little Charismatic Brainwashing Apparatus, My Little Sweatshop, My Little Maquiladora, My Little Electromagnetic Pulse Generator, My Little Sewage Processing Plant, My Little Super Collider, My Little Military Industrial Complex, My Little Massage Parlor, My Little Joint Stock Company, and new, My Little Ecclesiastical City-State. The Wrong Hero? Yes, quite a tour de force, Wrong Hero. Now shut up. Wrong Hero is also brought to you by the penis. Strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. But men like it too.
I have a big silver one that weighs 2,500 pounds. This has 265 horsepower.
Well, my dad is 10 feet tall and weighs 1,000 pounds, and if you hurt me, he'll kill you. The Wrong Hero is also brought to you by Tarantula Chow. Is your spider or arachnid restless? Listless? Well, why don't you feed him some Tarantula Chow? Scorpions love it too. The Wrong Hero is also brought to you by new Hollywood production of a movie with 3 friends in it and one of them dies. The Wrong Hero is also brought to you by Ultimate Football. Fuck sissy tackles, we ran a hand grenade down their throat. And The Wrong Hero is also brought to you by the new book Compulsive Reading, which the New York Times called a must-read, and by the book History of Dust, which the New York Times also called a must-read. By the way, History of Dust, that's like the description of this living. You know, I swept like an inch thick layer of dust on this floor. It hadn't been swept in 2 years. Hey, bro. All right, boys, take it outside.
Got a pen?
I got a pen, but you gotta promise to keep your yap shut. Shut your pie hole! Well, I'm talking here.
Can you give me the money so I can pay it?
Whoa, famous last words. Can I have the cash?
Share it with my name label on it.
That's the sweetest words in all of the English language are,
Include my,
I'll pay you in
my,
cash
yeah,
right now.
With my name on it.
Can you imagine?
My name on it, we should close that.
I'll give you the money.
That would be crucial for me, John.
Crucial. Like Khrushchev?
Yes, I'm just free associating like mad here. And station identification.
I'll mail it.
This is the wrong hero, and the title of this presentation,
I'll put my address.
as we wind down, is, the question is, which is to be master? That is all. Part of a three-part master series. Part 1, the return of the master. Part 2, the question is, which is to be master? That is all. And next week, part 3, silence, earth meet, the master speaks. The Wrong Hero is also brought to you by the Alzheimer Lounge. Forget everything you've ever heard about the Alzheimer's Lounge, because you will anyway. The Alzheimer's Lounge, a place where everybody knows your name except you. We have over 400 beers on tap. If only we could remember where we put the bottle opener. The Alzheimer's Lounge. You'll never forget it. You'll never remember it. The Wrong Hero is also brought to you by Abo Hut, Australian Aborigine theme restaurant. Not responsible for lost or stolen boomerangs. Koala bears, please leave all eucalyptus leaves at the front desk. We accept most major credit cards, dingo pelts, and spearheads. Come to our dwarf tossing contest and watch us throw a real shrimp onto the Barbie at Abo Hut. The Wrong Hero is also brought to you by Anti-Ivory Soap. It's black, it stinks like shit, sinks to the bottom of the fucking tub, but it's really good for your skin. Anti-Ivory Soap. And by Fig Newtons. A lousy Zweeback cracker stuffed with seedy crud. And by Jesus Christ soup in regular and Hebrew flavor. The Wrong Hero is also brought to you by excrement. If you feel like shit, chew excrement. And the Wrong Hero is also brought to you by sacrament. Gets the smell of choir boy off your breath fast. The Wrong Hero is also brought to you by eternity ration. My God's bigger than your God. My God's bigger than yours. My God's bigger because he eats eternity ration.
Great.
Okay, guys.
Fantastic.
You can go.
I'll get this right off immediately.
You can leave. You can leave. Rather than talk to my set, just go. Get up. I'm freeing you. I forgive you. You can leave. Go. Or you can stay, but you gotta be quiet for the last 10 minutes or so, or however long this takes. And
40 minutes.
no. I gotta wrap it up at 10. That's all the time I got left.
On the tape? How much is more on the tape?
10 minutes. The Wrong Hero is also brought to you by We Belong Dead Mix. Frankenstein asks for it by name. And by new Autism, a game that one can play. The Wrong Hero is also brought to you by, hey, can I have my pen back?
Oh, I'm sorry. Here it is.
I'll bet you're
Doesn't
sorry.
write very well.
Yeah, I know. You're sorry. You're sorry you didn't get to keep it. That's what you're sorry about. I know you.
Yes, Francis, what I'm most desiring is a 40-cent pen that is almost out of ink.
This pen cost $1.29, I'll have you know. Wholesale.
Big time.
But you didn't pay for it. You didn't pay
Well, I
for it.
got it from my office at PC. I ordered a bunch of pens and they got them for me too sweet. See, I'm a big man where I work. I got my own desk. And everybody knows who I am, so it doesn't even need a nameplate. Not that they got one for me. You know, I'm gonna move down to West Virginia and get a job as a librarian. But you know, the thing is, I'm a little worried because, like, what if they all act like hillbillies? Like, what if they're all hillbilly librarians? Like, I'm sorry, mister, you're gonna have to leave. You're not making enough noise and you're not drinking enough beer. You know, and it's like, see that man with the black sunglasses? That's the head librarian. He's the man with no eyes. Yeah, so, Canada. Maybe I'll move to Canada. You ever think about Canada?
Well, what about your braille show?
Oh, okay. I didn't get to do that one. That's okay though, that's an old one. Yeah, I got a bumper sticker, it's a Braille bumper sticker that reads, if you can read this, you must be blind. Yeah, satisfied? I'm satisfied. I'm gonna move to Canada. You know they've got a 100% literacy rate, but they got nothing to write home about? It's like, dear Pierre, it snowed. Love, my man. You know? Yeah. Whatever. Well, you know, my teeth are really sensitive, so I gave them one perfect rose and I took them out to dinner. Candlelight dinner, no less. You know what I hate? When you're trying to better yourself by like reading, and people come up to you and say, huh, you're reading a book. Hey, get a load of this. Yo, he's reading a book. Why don't you read a book on how to make more money, huh? And you can start some party or something around it. Yeah, it's just amazing. I had a stupid hemorrhage the other day because I wasn't smart enough to have a cerebral one. You know what I like to do? This is something that you could do, Mark, if you had a bank account. I like to call the bank at 2 in the morning and say, "What are you doing with my money?" Lorraine Hansberry asked the question, what becomes of a raisin in the sun? And now, belatedly, my answer. It becomes a dried up fucking raisin, stupid! Okay? So, I was on trial and I was judged guilty by reason of temporary sanity. Now here's a question. Mark, if you arrest a monk, does he have a right to talk? You have a right to remain silent? You have a right to talk?
Is that a fat cat Republican?
We'll say. This guy is like obviously a survivalist, you know? Yeah. He's sort of, anyway. Some definitions before I go. A boulevardier is a sophisticated sex maniac. A socialist is a hobo with a PhD. When a Republican gets that fat, it's called protective coloration. Here's a message to our nation's youth. Take back your bodies by ritual mutilation of your penis, foreskin, and earlobe and nose, and cheek. Okay? Now, I hate the weekend because I don't need a set time to act spontaneous. Okay? And here's another thing. If the mountain will not come to Muhammad, I guess he's shit out of luck. Now, if you're like most people, and who isn't, then you're probably just like everybody else, right? And here's a little joke for you. You guys will like this. Okay? What's the difference between feminists and machinery? Machinery stops whining when you lubricate it. Now, is that offensive or what? Charity begins at home. So give me your money. Pronto. Okay? You know, I don't like to use the word shit. I prefer to call it something nice, like brown monuments to a healthy appetite. Now they say an apple cleans your teeth. Well, so does a hand grenade. They say a carrot improves your vision at night. Well, so does a hand grenade. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. What keeps the policeman away? That's what I need to know. Yeah, I went into the Harvest Food Co-op the other day, and I asked for a Granny Smith apple, and they said, please. We like to call them Elder Smith apples. That went over me, right? I have an air freshener that smells like a doctor. It keeps the apples away. Okay? I like to go to Weight Watchers meetings and leave chocolate-flavored farts in the vestibule. I guess I'm just mean that way. Also, I like to put healthy choice stickers on the Baby Watson cheesecakes at the store 24. You know, just a mean guy, a real troublemaker. That's basically the upshot of this whole thing. I'm a troublemaker. I talk too long. I annoy Mark, who has to go rummaging in his filthy garbage. Mark, you're blocking the camera. Too many cooks spoil the broth, but I don't care. I'm having steak. You know, William Lloyd Garrison said in the opening editorial to The Liberator, I will not bend, I will not equivocate, and I will be heard. And for a good time, call 666-6969 and ask for Velma. You know, I was sad because I had no toilet paper. Then I met a man who was a complete asshole. Not speech, but facts convince. But a good fart can drive everybody out of the room.
Mark pretty good at that.
I believe we should be kind to animals and eat them. You know, when failures burn out, nobody notices. You ever notice that? Another thing, Christmas comes but once a year. Well, so do most other days, okay? If the election were held today, it would be November. You don't need drugs. Give them to me. I can start drinking anytime I want to. I can see a thing without my glasses. Every day I wake up in the morning, I thank God for my God-given talent, sponging off my friends. Where would I be without it? You know, a schizophrenic always demands your divided attention. I like to tell people that if you live in my heart, you live rent-free, but there might be a small security deposit involved. I'm going to start a line of heartless shelters. That's where heartless people go to hide from the homeless. Nice thing about no longer working in the Middle East, it sort of reminds me how the club scene is just a multi-tiered ritual of mutual self-destruction. Now, isn't it? Yeah, Steve, let's talk about self-destruction.
He was here, I heard him.
Oh, he left.
Is he gonna come back?
One nice thing about being in jail, your parents always know where you are. You know, Faint Heart never won Fair Lady, but Big Bankroll did. You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, but what kind of a maniac would want to run around with a wallet that smells like bacon? Huh? I ask you. If there's nothing new under the sun, it's probably all burned and crispy and someone's trying to sell it at a garage sale. You know, John, if you want something done right, forget it. A tisket, a tasket, a brown and yellow basket. What the fuck is a tisket, huh? Here's another proverb for you. The man who sows beans shall reap beans, and the man who sows hemp shall reap hemp. But wait a minute. Let's get back to the man who sows hemp and when harvest time is. You know, man is the only animal who compiles these inane lists of what man is the only animal to do. You know, John, my house was built on an Indian burial ground. You know how I know? I guess it was the peyote buttons disguised as bingo markers that sort of clued me in. The Indians, they're great. You know, they invented snowshoes, beef jerky, and potato chips. 3 things without which 20th century man could not exist. Oh, you want to hear my National Geographic song? I think you might have heard it once before. Those Thurmore people, their photographs look nice and brown. They do not threaten, they are nice folks to have around. These cheerful natives, their sorrows never weigh them down. They are exotic, see how they never wear a frown. I like their pictures, but still I'm glad I live in a first world town. Well, anyway. You know, in Ireland, they would call me a storyteller, okay? But here, I'm just a brute. You know, I've actually run out of time. This is a 2-hour and 10-minute tape. I hope they run a 2-hour and 10-minute tape, but they probably won't. So anyway, now that everybody has finally left the room, I guess I'm free to say that I am the wrong hero, and I'm not working on the great American novel. I'm working on the lousy American novel, and now that we're like winding down and like everybody is probably tuned out, I could probably do all of the very most offensive jokes that I know, or have made up actually. This is all original material here, okay? I gave my hamster a Mother's Day present, but she had just eaten her young. Don't you hate it when that happens? You know, they voted me scapegoat of the year, and now they're persecuting me because I won't accept the award. Hey guys, come in, it's the last minute. You gotta provide the obligatory applause and cheering and whistling. All right.
Can you do a cat call?
Yeah, you do a cat call. Hurry up, 1 minute, 60 seconds. Hey, what is it with you maniacs? Don't you understand the concept of 1 minute? Hurry up in here. Come on, get the lead out. Shake a tail feather. All right? Okay. Now, before I go, I gotta say this one thing. I'm gonna do this movie, right? It's gonna be about this guy who like falls asleep during World War II and he wakes up 40 years later. And the first thing he says when he's in the hospital bed is, the war. Who won World War II? Hitler lost. Didn't he? Didn't he? Didn't he? Anyway, I'm the wrong hero. And folks do say I have a knack for making people vicious. And all I can say to that is, practice makes perfect. I thank you for your kind, if somewhat dilatory, attention. And now you may applaud.
But what about the Ross Perot speech? How about
That
the
was it. That was it. That was it, Chumley. Okay?
Yay.
Yeah, hooray for me. I must be the greatest fucking man in the world. And the hell of it is, I'm not even a man. I am an alien. I am the wrong hero. Yay. And this has been. The question is, which is to be master? That is all. And that is all.
Yay, brilliant, Francis.
Yeah, that's what they said to Hitler, too. Yay! Brilliant there, Adolf. Yeah. Really love that little logo you came up with. What is that, 4-7?
That's quite a tripod. That's a major, it's a skyscraper there.
That's my nickname, you know. Tripod. Get it?
But if Francis, if you had kept the vista a little lower, you would have been able to catch the action of the signal.
Then it would have been a democratic vista.
That's a brilliant background you put up there.
That's nice.
But he had it aimed so that it just
But of course,
pointed the window.
it dates everything. It dates, you know.
What do you mean? There's no date on
That
it.
can reconstruct everything. Sure, it dates. Look. NASA.
You can't see the
Another
construction on that
construction.
side. All you can see.
I saw a girl I know from work walk up down the street. I said, "Oh my God, that's her." I knew that.
His gold is good too. I don't know if it's
Street
good.
I think it's a big failure. I think
On Bass Ave.
I like South. It's good. It's actually, I like that.
Let's call it Billy Ruane.
Murphy's is good.
Oh, Murphy, I agree. I like Murphy. Yeah.
That's some kind of.
I didn't even do the last page. I thought it was kind of weird.